Total Drama before Total Drama was pretty weird, and to elaborate more on what I'm saying is that when you take a look at Total Drama now, you're met with a group of contestants as they go through intense challenges, and immediately when we're met with these iconic characters, from the mean Queen Heather, the geeky Harold, the jockless jock Tyler, the goth girl Gwen, and so much more. The connections we made to these characters keeps us invested, to keep us rewatching and hope to see more new Total Drama content in the future. At least content we actually want to see, not that baby show drama-rama. But that's besides the point. The Total Drama we all know and love today wasn't originally planned to be like this. So today, let's take a look at the Total Drama origin, but before we begin, make sure to click that like and subscribe button so I know you like my content. Without further interruptions, let's begin. Originally, the show wasn't even going to be called Total Drama. It was actually supposed to be called Camp TV, where only 10 campers would compete instead of 22, making this out to be the shortest cast yet, with Revenge of the Island having 13. Could you imagine a season with only 10 contestants? I mean, even with Revenge of the Island's cast of 13, we weren't given much time at all to get to know these characters, nonetheless only 10 of them. They'd for sure have to add some kind of non-elimination round or something, or an aftermath show of some kind, because otherwise I feel like it would probably feel rushed, in my opinion. A big change comes in when we find out that Chris McClain wasn't even going to be the original host of the show, but someone called Brock Rockwell. I honestly couldn't imagine the show without Chris as host, especially if we're talking about Chris, since that's when Chris was at his prime in Total Drama Island. He was actively not trying to, kill his contestants, and he genuinely felt like a real person, like an animated fear factor of some kind. Chef's old design, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what I'm looking at, honestly. I have nothing to say about this. More changes started popping up, with some being minor changes and some being pretty drastic, especially when we see some of the character designs from Camp TV. Now, I'm not going to discuss every single character design change, but I'll go over a few just to express the amount of differences there really is. So looking at Harold, his design remains the same for the most part, with the only noticeable difference being his shirt says Middle Earth Rocks, while the Harold we know today's shirt has a Starburger design. Gwen went through quite a few changes. Instead of her black and green hair, she had red hair with a bit of a tan to her character. She was originally planned to date Jeff the party dude. Yeah, I can't believe that either. And lastly, her name wasn't even going to be Gwen, but Heather. So when looking at all this from a comparison standpoint, I'm really glad they decided to make these changes, because I couldn't see Gwen's design having red hair. As for her dating Jeff, I'm kinda meh on it, because on one hand, I actually liked the build up we got to see for Gwen and Trent's relationship. It really felt so wholesome to watch, but the other side of the coin, it wouldn't be too crazy to see a Gwen and Jeff dynamic, since we saw some kind of deep friendship in the episode Tri-Arm Triathlon, so it really wouldn't be too far-fetched to see an actual relationship between the two. It was essentially really funny to see Gwen fighting Trent in the promotional poster. I don't think I could ever accept seeing this on screen, unless we're talking about Total Drama action during the whole number 9 phase of Trent. Then hey, maybe this poster featuring the two isn't too far off, right? Lindsay's physical design had very little change, just her bandana not having polka dots. The real change was how she was supposed to be the season's antagonist. My god, could you ever imagine sweet level lame brain Lindsay being a villain? Because literally, this sounds like the most fan fiction I've ever heard in my life, even more than my fan fiction of Beast secretly being Batman. It's all just really crazy to see how much they had to change. Cody's and DJ's design was certainly a drastic change, with Cody's old design being a lot taller and sporting green pants, all with a hat, while DJ's old design resembles a bit of B from Revenge of the Island. One of the coolest things about the original designs was they still decided to actually use these old models for background characters, like Chris's interns, which they make appearances all throughout the course of the show. So that way it seemed like their old character models just didn't go to waste. When the actual promo came out in 2006, they decided to rename the show Total Drama Island. Here we get to see an idea of how Total Drama Island came to be. We still see Jeff acting like a goofy party dude, and the shark-infested waters, which is still a thing, so that's a really nice touch. As you're watching the promo, you'll see many of the background characters that turned out to be Chris's interns, so that's cool. I think it's funny they still kept Harold's Ant Farm going wild as part of the show. It just goes to show how much things are different but also similar as well. Camp TV or Total Drama's overall concept originated all the way back in 2003, which is 4 years from its actual debut. So it really shows you how old the series is, and just how ahead of its time it was. Another part of the show's concept was that it was supposed to show the audience at home watching and giving their own thoughts on what's currently happening in the show, or even throwing potato chips at their screen, at least according to the wiki. Now, if they did show us the audience at home, I feel like it would just take away from the show, and it's probably best if it was its own separate thing, basically how the Aftermath was its own thing in Total Drama Action and World Tour. So ultimately, when looking at everything of Camp TV, I'm just gonna say I'm really glad they made the changes they did, because I don't see how it would have ended up working if they kept it the way they originally planned. I feel like it would have been boring and would have just failed and been a flop. When looking at the second generation's cast of characters, aka the Revenge cast, it's pretty much the same thing. Weird character designs that I'm glad didn't make it to our television screens. Some of the designs had a swap-like effect. For example, Scott wore some of Brick's drip with his necklace and green-like shirt, while Dakota's original design having current Zoe's red hair. Once again, they decided not to let the old designs go to waste, so they actually used Cameron's original design for the two brothers that compete in the Redonkulous race. I think it's cool they ended up doing this again. However, I can't stand the two brothers Jay and Mickey, so it's not really a win this time in my book. I can't get away with not talking about Mike's old design though. I'm probably the only one who's thinking this, but I swear, he looks like a Total Drama styled Shaggy. From Scooby-Doo at least. I don't know, maybe I'm blind. But anyways, what do you guys think of Camp TV and the prototype of Revenge of the Island? Are you glad they went with these changes? Or would you have wanted to see everything in its original glory play out? Let me know down in the comments. But alright viewers, that crosses off Total Drama's origin on our list. Let me know what list you'd like to see next. With all that said, I look forward to seeing you with our next list.